Welcome everybody, welcome.
Hey guys. Hey everybody, as you're coming in, please go ahead and just share. How are you doing? Please feel free to drop in the chat. Hi. Finally. You were just about to give up. Hi Lanaya. Hey, so good to see you guys. Go ahead and share. We miss you too.
We miss you too. We miss you too.
It's so good to see you. So good to see you guys. You ready? You excited? Drop in the chat, people. How are you? Just put in the chat. How are you doing? How are you? How are you? We want to hear from you. We're gonna start in.
And remember to like the live, guys.
Yes.
Like the live.
Like the live and share. Like and share. It's good to be here. That's good. It's good. I'm glad you're good.
We're doing good.
We're good.
We're doing good, you know. Been busy, but we're doing good.
Very busy, Lanaya.
Yeah, we've been a lot going on. Hey, Big K, baby.
I don't know what that meant.
For a while. I've been deleting. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Make sure you resubscribe. All right.
She said that
I sent Karaya. Oh, okay. Hey, Karaya. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another live. It is so good to see you guys. We're excited. We are talking about a topic that almost everybody goes through. Feeling unappreciated by that special someone, by that person who you really want to take the time out to see you, to validate you, to acknowledge you, to put in the work like you are putting into the relationship, right? And so this may seem common and it seems simple to many, but it's very important. So tonight, big up to those who are here. Welcome back, everybody, to the channel When Two Become One. My name is Shanice Layla Bogle, and this is the co-host, my husband, of the platform,
Mr. Anthony Bogle.
Welcome, Sir Anthony.
Amen.
How are you feeling? How you feel tonight for this topic?
Yes.
Feeling unappreciated.
Well, as a man.
As a man.
Yeah, speaking from a man's perspective.
Oh, yes.
It is something that we look forward to, you know?
Men want to feel appreciated as well?
Yes. Yes. You know, it's like the core of who we are.
Oh, wow.
In a sense, yeah. You know, when you talk about being a man, you know, it's all about, you know, being the protector, being, you know, whatever gap we need to stand in.
Yeah.
You know, that is who we are. We like our egos to be stroked, you know, we like, you know, to be looked at a certain way.
Yeah.
You know, in a positive light, you know. And so, even though we don't talk about it, when we feel appreciated, it does something.
Okay.
You understand? It's like when you put the effort in, and somebody says, hey, you know, I love what you're doing. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it doesn't fall on both sides. But I feel like with a man, it's like that is what keeps us going.
Okay.
You understand? Even if it's not verbally said, just certain actions that is done, you know, that shows us, hey, you know, I appreciate you. I appreciate you for being a good husband. I appreciate you for being a good man. You know, whether it's cooking some nice food, you know, whether it's, you know, whatever it is that you would do to make your person or to make your husband, to myself, feel good.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's true. I feel like we overlook that a lot, especially as women. We don't necessarily feel like men want to be acknowledged and highlighted. Sometimes the ladies can be a little bit, I don't want to say spoiled, but we require so much
Yes.
emotionally, that we want to be babied up, we want to be verbally acknowledged, we want to be posted on the social media, because everybody needs to know that this man loves and appreciates us. And so we don't really realize that men want that too. And sometimes maybe it's because men don't say. Like, for example, how would a woman know what a man wants or need if we are not taught about men? So what I'm saying? So there's so many platforms for women. They teach about women. Everybody knows what a woman wants, but who is here to teach us about what a man wants? And so this is why we have this platform. So if you're a male, if you have a partner, if you know a male and you may not understand what's going on in your spouse's mind, your partner's mind, this is the right time to go ahead and share this live. What does a man want? A man wants to feel appreciated as well. And so this is a problem for a lot of relationships. It's very common, guys. Unappreciation, very common. Feeling devalued, very common in your relationships.
And just to add quickly, guys, even though the conversation kind of gone over on the male section, we're not, this is not linking it just to the male. We're talking about both male and female, both husband, our husbands and our wives.
Okay.
So it's not just geared.
Thank you for that clarity.
Yeah, it's not just geared on,
Yes.
on the men.
Okay. Awesome. So we're gonna look into this thing called unappreciation, how it leads to resentment. Now, it is twofold. Let me tell you that from now. Unappreciation is twofold in the sense that there are two main ways you in your relationship, you feel like this person don't see you, they don't validate you, they don't recognize the effort you're putting into this love story. It's twofold. But let me just say before that, when you are not appreciated, it's very painful.
Yes.
It's very painful. Yes. And it really builds up not just residue, but really mountains of resentment and hurt and bitterness and anger, to the point where many people start to pull back. And some will just start venting, and some lash out, and some shut down, and some isolate. Even though they're in the relationship, they're there, but it's like they're not there. Yes. And so many times not psychologically, but statistic wise, we know this. But when it comes down to our relationships, to put it into practice, it's not really enforced. So I can be talking about this thing. So I know it by stats. And you online, you know it by stats. You see people, you hear stories, but have you made that change in your relationship?
And just to add to what you're saying, I feel like one of the biggest challenge that we face, in society now, or in the broader scale of who we are, is that we don't know how to express ourselves.
Yes.
And the funny thing is that you have a lot of kids, growing up, and I always have to bring the kids up because that's where
it starts.
The future is. That's where our future lies. They don't know how to express themselves.
Yeah.
You understand? You ask them a question, or just to just to broaden a certain perspective on a topic, or just a word.
Yeah.
Or how they feel, they cannot do it. You get what I'm saying? And it's the same thing, I believe, in marriages, in relationship, that sometimes we're just so used to the on the surface thing. We're so used to the on the surface conversation. We are so used to on the surface expression. I like you, yeah, mom, I like you. You look pretty, but
I want to be with you.
Yeah, what is it that makes me look pretty? What does it that makes me look handsome?
Why are you here? What do you want?
Yeah, is it just based on my physical looks, or is it based on my personality? Or
why do you love me?
The core of what? Yeah, what is the reason why why do you love me?
Why do you want to be with me?
Yeah, and you can elaborate on that in a deeper way, not just some love you already. And so when it comes to a marriage, we forget, or we fail to realize that it's the same thing. We have to know how to express to that to that person, and a lot of us, sometimes we're not good with words. you know, and I guarantee you, you know, sometimes we're not even looking for the words. It's really to show you or to show, you know, your partner
Yeah.
that listen, this is how I feel, and I appreciate you.
I still see you.
I see you.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that is one of the biggest thing that we struggle with
Yeah.
in our marriages.
And funny enough, you know that studies say that this is normal, that being unappreciated is normal in a relationship, that it is so normal that it is now we're so sensitized to it. So it's not that it is okay, but it's normal to be
Yeah.
unappreciated. Why? It to a certain degree, it's just human tendency. Like this ring. If I when I just got this ring, I used to take it up, I used to look at it, I used to, you know, just love on it, clean it every day. And then after a while, it was just a ring on
ring.
my finger. I
Yes.
started to forget it was even there. Because anything that we have for a while, humanly speaking, it starts to dwindle in value,
Yeah.
because that awe factor has now kind of dwindled down. But that's why it takes deliberate action to stay in keep your partner at the forefront of your mind, to say, check in. We talked
And
about
understand
micromanaging the
micro,
marriage
yes,
and
you
the
always
relationship.
have to do that.
Yes.
And as you mentioned, the ring, it goes back to even you know, when a man meets a woman,
Yeah.
you know, and put the effort in to get that woman, you know,
Yeah,
and put the
yeah,
effort
yeah.
in, you know, I forget that lady, I forget that girl, yeah. You understand? You go on dates, you know, he does the most.
Yeah.
But as soon as he gets that person,
It dwindles.
everything goes down. Everything goes down. You understand? So
Conquer territory.
yeah, as you mentioned, it's a human tendency,
Yeah.
and I feel like once you get into the marriage, you
Yeah.
now have to. I'm not going to say put that human tendency aside, but at the end of the day, always remember that. Listen, this, if nothing else, requires work
Yeah.
for you. This requires work. A daily
Yes.
reminder that, listen, this is something that if I slip, I slide.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh
know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Or if we slip, we slide. We have to keep it up. We have to keep nurturing. We have to keep nurturing.
Yeah. I saw a couple, they set a reminder. They set reminders for telling their partners that, hey, how are you? Checking in. I see you. I love what you did. They have reminders in their phones. And it's not that it's overbearing or it's fake or it's hypocritical or it's pretentious, but it's because they're being deliberate about their love life. And that's beautiful. So whatever you have to do to remind your partner, your spouse, do it. So tonight we're looking at the twofold nature of this feeling unappreciated, especially many times we talk about topics that older couples can't relate to. And so that is why I really like this one in particular, because it doesn't matter what amount of years you're married, you can relate to this one. If you are married for 10 years, for 30 years, for 5, for 2, even couples who've been together for 60 years
Yes.
separate because they don't feel appreciated. Can you imagine that?
Yes.
Older couples, they're getting a divorce because we've grown apart, we don't see eye to eye, he doesn't appreciate me, I can't bother with him, I can't bother with her. These things happen. So this topic can be beneficial to any age group of couples. The first reason you feel devalued, the first reason you don't feel appreciated, it is twofold. One, it could be that you are talking, you are sharing, but your spouse is not listening. They hear you, but they're not listening.
Yes.
And so to listen is to make a conscious decision and a mental note of what is taking place. Decoding the words that's coming to your ears and putting them into consideration and action. Analyzing, critically analyzing the information to say, what will I do about this?
Yes.
That's when you're listening. And so a person who listens really the word is coming. It's like you intentionally take it apart. You intentionally pull it apart and then make a conscious decision. How do I respond to this cry? How do I respond to this need? And so that would be the first fold, that you are talking, but your spouse is not giving you the time of day. They're not replying or responding in a way that you want to.
Yes.
They're not showing you what you want to see. They're not telling you what you want to hear. They're not doing what you want them to do. And that's a problem.
Amen.
That is a problem. So we don't want it to seem like, oh, because it's normal, it's okay. It's not okay for us. It's not okay for you. It's not okay for people you know. Nobody should be in a relationship and feel like that, because this aspect, being in a relationship, is a must.
Yes.
Is a necessity. It's a need. A human being lives from this. People basically have physically died.
Yes. Yes.
People have died because of the lack of human validation. The heart gets so broken, they pass. And so the second fold is, wanna go check on it? You hear that? I'm sorry, guys. The second fold is, you can cause your own self to be feeling this way. And this is the part that many people don't necessarily understand. That if you analyze how you love on someone, analyze if you are anxiously attached or avoidantly attached, or disorganized attachment is your style of loving, or you are organized in attachment. You have, this is not love language now. This is different from love language.
Yes.
You have to analyze how attached you are. Now, your attachment style is what you adopted based on how you were loved as a child. And so, for example, me, who experienced trauma because of parental home situation as a kid. Now, when I grew up, I was very much, you'd say, kind of like avoidantly attached.
Yes.
Because I separated a lot. I isolate a lot. I don't necessarily need to be in somebody else's space to feel validated. And so I don't give much of it. And so I have to make an extra effort to
Yes.
make sure that, oh my God, I did not validate him, or I did not make him feel seen, or I did not say thank you, or I appreciate you. And because of that, I realized that my avoidant attachment style was causing me to do that to him. Now, the other side of that is, I may want to be feeling validated, but because of my attachment style, I'm not saying anything. So you have to understand how you are imprinted. And your imprint is going to affect how much you receive also
Yes, yes.
from people. Because imagine, he's there, he doesn't know what I want, what I desire, but yet still in my heart,
Yes.
I'm secretly hating him. I'm secretly bitter against him because he didn't tell me that I look nice. He didn't tell me that what I did was good. He didn't tell me that the meal that I cooked was nice. But then yet still, I'm not saying anything. So I am keeping the peace. Anxiously attached people, they're worried, they're paranoid, they're jittery, they're on the edge. And then you have the avoidant. They don't want to say anything to cause no war.
Yes. Yes.
They don't want to say anything to cause no eruption, no fight. They don't want their partners to get upset at them, so they close their mouths. And then the war starts within. So you aim to keep the peace on the outside. I don't want to say that I don't feel this way. I don't want to say I don't feel love, because he's going to think I'm annoying. He's going to think I'm clingy. I don't want to say it. But at the same time, you're dying on the inside.
Yes.
So it's twofold. Your attachment style can actually affect how much of appreciation you are receiving. Your partner don't know, they don't know how to help you, but on the inside, you're dying. You hate him. You hate her. You despise her, but you love her, but you're calling out for her. You're calling after him. Attachment style. And again, there is the vocal side where you are vocal. The first fold is you are vocal, but this person is not really giving you the time, the effort. And it's listen, guys, a relationship is like a cycle. It's a circular motion, because if your partner is also going through what you're going through, unhealed trauma is typically the base or the imprints of how you were grown.
Yes.
Who taught you how to love? Who taught you how to express yourself? Who taught you how to validate someone? Who was your role model in love? These things affect how you love people.
Yeah.
These things affect how much you put the effort into your relationship to say, hey, this was well done. I really love what you did. So there are some things, there are 4 main signs you want to look for in your relationship that probably you weren't thinking about. Maybe you thought being appreciated was simply, oh, he needs to tell me or she needs to tell me. But that's not the only way somebody can actually not appreciate you or you feel devalued. And so I want you to share quickly, what are the 4 top signs in a relationship that you can actually look for to see if your partner is doing this. They may have checked out of showing you that appreciation.
Well, yeah, 4 tips, to our signs, pretty much, that can help you to understand and to realize what your relationship looks like when there's no gratitude, pretty much, right?
So that's the first one that they're...
No gratitude, yeah. So the first one is no gratitude is expressed, right? The second one is they don't ask for your help.
Wow.
Yes.
So you're just doing everything
it's almost,
themselves.
yeah, you're doing everything yourself.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And you have persons like that.
Yeah.
You have persons like that where and it's not, I'm not going to say something bad. We are not going to say something bad, because you have persons that they might have gone through a phase in their life where they are the one doing everything.
Yeah.
You understand? They have to be strong. It's almost
Like
like
yeah,
yourself.
like even or dynamic.
Based on what you have gone through,
Yeah.
in your time. You have to be the one to be strong for this situation. You have to be. You have single mothers. You understand? You have single mothers that have been the one to be both mothers and fathers. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so they find themselves in a marriage, and it's like,
wow,
that side is closed up. Where
asking for help.
For help, you understand? I can do it. There's no problem.
But that's really a form of unappreciation,
Yes.
because you're really not giving your partner the space to care for you. And that's really that's really deep. That's really something.
You have to know become vulnerable.
Vulnerable and humble and be willing to be taken care of.
You have to become vulnerable.
Yes.
And a lot of persons, they have never stepped into
Yeah.
that. It's like it can be a scary
yes.
It can be a scary phase.
So true.
And it is way harder when you're not in a safe space.
Oh wow. Yes.
You understand when when that space is not safe.
Yeah.
I'm talking about married couples. So the next one is inconsiderate towards your feelings.
Yeah.
No matter what is said, no matter what you share, it's like a brick wall, pretty much.
Yeah.
You don't feel, as we always say, you don't feel like you're heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand? You don't feel like you're heard. So I think the last one is the disregard of your interest or your growth or anything that deals with the support of the person.
Wow.
You understand? You have dreams, you have things that you want to pursue, and that partner is just nowhere to be found where that is
all
concerned.
about them.
Yes. That partner is nowhere to be found. So they're not supportive, they're not in your corner to say, listen, I will walk with you through this journey.
Yeah, yeah.
You understand? If it's emotional support, if it's physical support, if it's financial support,
career-wise,
they're just not there.
Yeah.
You understand? If it's support with the kids,
yeah,
they're just not there. You understand? So those are a few that I wanted to share.
Thank you for sharing that. Very important points. I love those. All right. So now looking at this whole thing now, how do we help this situation? Because this problem is so vast. Like, everybody talking about the fact that their spouse just don't seem to see them. It's such a huge problem. And we have some tips here. It may suit some, it may not suit everybody, and that's fine. If you're in a relationship, I believe and we believe that whether young couple, older couple, courting, not yet married, if you do this, and you have to ensure that you know it is not okay to stay in a relationship, especially you're not married, single people. Please look at your options, what you're choosing, what you're deciding to stay with, to settle with. It's not okay to be in a relationship where you are crying out for validation. People will say, oh, it's low self-esteem. But what about those who are sure of themselves and they still feel alone? Because in their relationship, they're just clapping with one hand, and that can't work.
One of the biggest thing that I think, and just to add, I don't know if you have that in the
Go
notes.
ahead.
But you see, understanding a person's love language really makes a big difference. Because I promise you, you do have couples that are with their partners for 5, 6, 10, 20 years, and they don't know each other's love language.
Yeah. So you may show them that you love them and appreciate them, but because it's not that way they want to be, they feel like you're not doing anything.
And guys, this is one thing that I have learned, and it took me a while to understand, especially when came into that whole knowledge of love language and all the above, is that not because your love language is physical touch. It means that your partner has to be physical touch. So you're going to kill that partner with physical touch and feel like, say, yeah, man, you're doing it because that is your thing. You get what I'm saying, guys? It doesn't mean that your partner is physical touch. So you have to spend time to ask the question.
How do you
ask that question? What is this? What it is that makes you feel appreciated? What it is? What can I do to make you feel like, okay, you're validated in a sense?
Yes.
Is it that I need to listen more? Is it that I need to be in your presence more? Is it that I need to wash your clothes? Cook more, like cook your favorite meal? Like, ask these questions.
Especially for those couples who are older and the children are gone out the house and it's just you and hubby, or you are old and children are maybe still there, but it's like you've grown apart. And now you feel like, okay, what else do we do with ourselves? And then, you just start feel like, oh, I'm just not even acknowledged by this man or this woman. I'm like a stranger in this house. Or, those older couples who say all the time, I'm hurting. And you'd be thinking that you're married for 50 years. What are you hurting about? It happens. You can't take it for granted just because the years on your marriage is rolling by. You can't take it for granted. Oh, I'm married 15 years now, so I don't need to say no.
And to be honest, and that is funny that you say that. You have a lot of couples, like, couples that has been married for 20, 30 years, 40 years, and whatever it is. And a lot of times we might be quick to say, wow, But I promise you, if you hear the story, it's been 20 rough years, it's been 40 rough years, and some are just existing in the marriage. You understand? You have some that are just existing, just there
for the children.
As the years goes by, no growth. Nothing to say, we really there are things that has changed in our marriage. But you're just there to just go with the flow in a sense. Sometimes the wife husband feel that because one party is always working.
That's true. And that would be unique to that person's situation. It is true. It's one of the biggest factors that, listen, the relationship is so funny. Emotions are so funny, Team Christian, that even when you met the person working, before you're married, the person working, work. The attention is on their shift.
Our children.
Our children. Sometimes you know this dynamic before you get married. You get married and you see that this is the person's life. You decide to still go marry the person, you know, and then you go into marriage and start complaining.
Yeah. And you do have husbands that are mad at the kids because you know, you take up the time.
Yeah.
You know, they're angry at their children because you know there's no time for the married couple. There's no time for me and my wife.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about literally in real life angry.
Oh yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So guys, I promise you.
Yeah.
It does happen. It does happen. It does happen.
For the person who is always working, listen, it doesn't matter what the situation is. If you are a spouse, if you are married, it is your responsibility to put your spouse first.
Yes.
No excuses. Put your spouse first, whether you're at year 1, year 4, year 6, year 14, year 47, whether you are a boss, a superintendent, the pope.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. You are responsible to put your spouse first.
Your marriage first.
Your
marriage
if
first.
you want us to tell you the truth, your spouse is first before your family, your relatives,
Your children.
your children.
Yes.
Your spouse is your one flesh. That's your own body. That's your own flesh.
So you even though and I do understand, you know, we need money to survive. We need money to take care of the bills and all of that. But at the end of the day, it's sad for you to be making all the money and your marriage is crumbling.
Yeah.
It does not make sense.
Your marriage is
It
first.
does not make sense. Sometimes you have to say, listen, you have to spend some time with Ozzy. If you have to take a day,
Yep.
you understand? If you have to take a day and say, listen, me I go separate this day for me and Ozzy.
Yeah.
Or me and wifey. You understand? You have to take a day.
Yeah.
And that's why we even spoke about in the past when it comes to even if a Sunday come and you feel like say, listen, no church.
That's a subject.
Yeah, we're not going in the building today. We're going to take the day to just be around each other. You understand? It is giving glory to God. So it's not necessarily say you have to be in the building. If you are in the building and your marriage is crumbling,
Go polish up. Fix it up.
you understand? If you're in the church building worshiping and doing all the above, but you and your husband don't see, you know, we're not in a good place.
Yeah.
You understand? So
Yeah.
if God gave us marriage and him said, listen, one flesh, deal with it this way. Once our marriage is flourishing, and I say it again, it is giving God glory. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
You understand?
Amen.
We're giving God glory.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. And it doesn't mean to idolize your marriage. That's a different thing. That's different. All right. So tips on... Oh, before I go to the tips, one little nugget. Validation is like nutrients. This thought came to me while I was, you know, putting stuff together. Validation is nutrients. You can die emotionally without it. You imagine something that lose weight and get really slim and it's just not looking healthy. That's what a person is like on the inside without being validated. It's nutrients. You're keeping your marriage alive with that. So take that into consideration. Tip 1, manage your expectations. If you are in a marriage or a relationship, you don't feel validated in your marriage, is it realistic that what you want you can get? If you have, let's say, analyze your case by case situation. Somebody talked about finances. If you have, let's say, $40,000 of debt and you want to be appreciated by date nights each week, that's not realistic. Because your partner needs to go to work to go sort out your family's needs financially.
Yes.
You can manage the expectation. Analyze what your thoughts are right now. Oh, he doesn't buy me flowers. Oh, he doesn't buy me a new pair of shoes every week. Or if my husband could just take home a slice of cheesecake, does he have the money to do that? Or my wife could really give me a massage and scrub my feet, and does she know how to do that? So it's not that they can't, but analyze the situation. Are my expectations realistic? Is this something within the scope of my spouse that can be done right now? So there could be other forms of validation that you could actually say, hey, babe, how about we do this together? You could initiate. That's another aspect to it. But whatever you do, manage your expectations, because you could be crying out for something 4 times a week that your spouse in their capacity right now can only do 2. Cannot provide it. And so you don't want the bitterness to come up, because you want to step in a space where you're still being empathetic, you're being sensitive, you're being compassionate for the spouse who may not be validating you. Maybe they don't even know what that looks like. You understand what I'm saying? And it's not an excuse. You want to get into their space and play detective. Hey, I don't feel like you really see me. What's up? Or this is how I feel when you don't say. You may be surprised they didn't even realize that was a thing.
Yes.
That was a thing. So the next step is express yourself. Communicate, express. You can't get angry and bitter if your spouse don't know. They've never heard you say it. You've never sent a message. You've never said it to them. You've never wrote a note. You've never shared it that you feel this way.
Yes.
We always expect our spouses to be mind readers, and to sometimes as the partners, sometimes even myself, I get angry and go in one corner, shut down, lock away, isolate, storm off, throw tantrum. What's the problem? You say, I did this, and you wouldn't even say or show appreciation. How would I know? Express, communicate. The next one is be sensitive and empathize with your spouse. Where they are right now in life is what you want to show and be the best of together, because every stage is different. There may be a stage where you're going to get showers of it, and another stage where at that time you don't know what's happening with the person, why they are not showing that. What if they have lost trust in you? What if they don't feel safe with you? What if they somehow they're misreading what you are,
Yes.
It could be so many different things. So you want to really be sensitive and watch how you approach them. You don't want to scare them. You're trying to be close with them and to them. You don't want to scare them away. The next one is sometimes you may want to pull back. It sounds funny, right? But you may have to pull back a little, scale back a little in love, lovingly, scale back. So if you used to cook 10 times for the week and you're not being validated for what your efforts, you may want to stop doing 10 and do 7. Because when things start to not be done, people start to see the gap. Oh my God, where's the food? Where's the dinner? Tonight, we're not going to do any dinner. You can find something in. When that starts to happen and you're not doing it by holding a grudge or being angry, but lovingly scale back. And then when it becomes a topic of conversation, then you say, but can you now help out? Or did you realize that I didn't cook? Really? Have a conversation in love.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be an argument. It doesn't have to be a fight. You can pull back gracefully. And also, you can get professional help. If this is a challenge, you're bumping heads with your spouse with this, get help. Counseling is an option.
Amen.
Pray for your spouse. Our last tip is to pray for your spouse, because you always want to put yourself in the other person's shoe. And if it's something they don't know how to do, you can actually teach them by first modeling it.
Amen.
model it, model it, model it, model it. All right, so that is it for our tips, guys. I don't know if anybody else want to say anything. Team Christian said talk truth. All right, so we're going to, you want to just go ahead and add your thoughts before we go? Please like the live, guys.
Yes, guys.
Like the live. The more you like and comment, the more it shares, the more, what you call it, the algorithm, it actually propels or suggests the video to other couples who may be going through this. And we are in the business of saving lives and changing generations. Your children are coming up and they're going to get married, and your grandchildren are coming up and they're going to get married. We want to pave the way, and we are all in this together. It's not just a or thing, it's all of us thing. All right?
Yes. Guys, what I want to share, and this is something that I have used, so my mind is not so much bent on, as we all talk about validation, or, you know, the point I'm trying to say, because I don't want to ramble,
Yeah.
is that when you're in a marriage, and I want to say this, guys, when you're in a marriage, when you get married, right?
Yeah.
Take the focus. Listen, and I don't want to go down a road where, you understand? But I want you to listen.
I don't
to
know
me,
the
guys.
road I'm going down.
Take the
Go
focus
ahead.
off your husband. Take the focus off your wife,
Wow.
and put it on Jesus Christ.
Wow.
The point that I'm trying to say is that in a marriage, you're not married to a perfect person.
Yeah.
You understand? That person is just as getting there as you are.
Yeah.
And so when you focus on God, meaning that you're not just married to your partner, you're married to God also. Everything that you do in that marriage, you're doing it as unto God.
Yes.
So no matter what, to be the best wife, to be the best husband, you're doing it as unto God. You're doing it as unto God. Your focus is not solely, because if you're going to focus on your partner,
Yeah.
and that partner blunders, you get what I'm saying? If you're going to put all your focus on that partner and that partner blunders, it is you are going to crash also.
Yeah.
So if whatever you're doing, listen, I'm in a marriage that is given by God,
Yeah.
I have to play my part. So if I'm cooking the best meal, if my wife is cooking the best meal, she's doing it as unto God. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I am doing what I'm supposed to do in the house as a man, I am doing it as unto God.
Yeah.
So there's no shortcomings. There's nothing. I am giving my best. I am putting my best out. Whether my wife says good job or she does not say good job,
Yeah.
I am putting out my best, because
Wow.
this is what God wants from me.
That's powerful.
This is what God expects from me.
Yeah.
You understand? And it is the same principle he's saying, even in the world. What I'm saying in the world is what you do to persons, whether they're saved or not saved. You're doing it as unto him.
Yeah.
So if you do something good to somebody outside, right? Whether that person don't have no money or they're this or they're that, you do it. You lend them a money, him say, don't take it back. Because at the end of the day, whether the person give you or them don't give you, I am going to bless you. I am going to provide for you.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
So you take your focus off the fact that, oh, me just give him a 10,000, you know, so him for give him back my $10,000 or whatever it is. God has said, listen, don't focus on that. If him give you back, him give you. But watch me work in your life. I am going to bless you. I am going to provide for you, because you're doing me tell us to do. You're doing it as unto me.
Yeah.
You understand, guys? So that is one of the biggest tips. Be the best wife you can. Be the best husband you can.
Yes.
You understand? Because God says, listen, deal with it that way there. The next thing I wanted to say is that in a lot of marriages, and my wife was sharing, there are things that you have not started out doing.
Yeah.
So if your husband never used to buy you roses and whatever be the case, you can't just watch one little TV show and you see the wife get roses and then
Oh,
you
my
start,
husband don't buy me
you don't
roses.
buy me roses.
Yeah.
Look how long me and Marty ain't buy me roses.
You appreciate me.
You cannot, may I add,
Oh, yes.
serve each other. Yes. That's
Yes.
serve each other. Yes.
Definitely.
You understand? Marriage is about nurturing.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that a lot. Marriage is about nurturing. So if you feel like say Ozzy's supposed to buy a rose, you can bring a conversation, baby, you know. I love roses, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like, you know, roses, whatever context you want,
Yeah.
put it in with love.
Mm-hmm.
And then you nurture that together. So it's like, no, every Friday, babes, me I go buy a rose. Or every Friday, honey, we are
Yeah.
gonna do this. You understand? So it's a cultivating thing.
Cultivated. That's the word.
You understand? You're nurturing that whole aspect into your marriage.
Yes.
Not just drop boof and expect say it's supposed to just appear. If it did not start out that way, it has to be cultivated.
Yes, that's a very good point.
You understand? It has to be cultivated. And
Yeah.
how you cultivate it, I always say this is that consistency programs the subconscious.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to be consistent. Do it over and over. Try your best to do it over and over until it becomes a part of that beautiful marriage
Yeah.
that you have. You understand? So that's what I want to share, guys.
Come on now. Come on. That was a very awesome outro. Guys, thank you so much for being on. We are going to be on Thursday again with the one thing we wanted to share from last week. Please look out. Please spread the word. If you've not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And if you've not shared or given the thumbs up, go ahead and do that. Thank you so much for being out. And we will be on Thursday with the number one reason there's contention in your house. The number one reason for everybody, whether 4 years, 2 years, 3 years, 7 years, 70 years. The number one reason there's contention in your marriage. God bless you guys. See you on Thursday. Bye-bye.
God bless you guys.